Hello, everybody. I know I haven't been too active on YouTube lately, but I have been active on Twitch, where I now stream myself practicing classical piano and also taking song requests from all my viewers. Recently, I've done a collaboration with another Twitch streamer, a jazz pianist from Canada, the Keyboard Grinder, and he gave me a lesson on all things jazz, learning about jazz, jazz chords, and improvisation. This is part one of a 2 or 3 part series of that lesson. I hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you on Twitch. All our links will be in the description below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Everybody, obviously you guys know the keyboard grinder, and so for me, I'm a classical pianist, like I said earlier, and the one thing that I've always wanted to do was to learn about jazz, and so I recently started streaming, and now that I know the keyboard grinder, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to practice some like jazz and like, kind of learn from him as I join his streams and stuff. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about like I don't know like how you got into jazz or something? Because I know you
Uh,
mentioned like you were a classical pianist before too, right?
yeah, believe it or not, I actually started with classical music, and I really like the jazzy classical artists like well, not jazzy, but like like Debussy's has a lot of jazzy chords,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that kind of style, and yeah, I was doing that, and then my dad introduced me to um this Oscar Peterson record called "We Get Requests," and that just made me want to play jazz. And through that, I started, you know, checking out other jazz artists from there, and
Mm-hmm.
then it just became like my thing after that.
Yeah, that's cool. And then so do you study jazz for college and stuff?
Yep. Then I went to so I did like just regular piano till I was 18, and then when I went to university, I just focused on jazz, and that's what I studied in at U of T. Just jazz piano, straight up jazz piano.
Mhm. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So I think we talked a little bit before, but so like the big topic of today's collaborative stream is improvising, right? And so like as a
Yep.
classical pianist, like I talk to many of my friends and stuff, and the things that we always wish that we can do is like how to improvise. Like I feel like that's
Hmm.
like the scariest thing that like people like tells like ask us to do, and yeah, so maybe we can like talk a little bit about that and like how like maybe like some of like your basic things to think about when it comes to
Yeah.
improvising.
Um. Well, starting off first is a lot of people say like you have to just transcribe records and just learn off ear, but not everyone can do that right off the bat. I feel that it's very like it's hard for someone that's not used to doing that to just go and check out a record and just copy what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So um, I actually learned through like books, like just like simple jazz books, and everything was written out. The first groove I heard was this one called Cantaloupe Island, and that was all written out for me. And the chords were also written above there, so I had a teacher that kind of explained to me what was going on. So I felt like I had to transition from reading music to to like learning by ear slowly and gradually. I didn't just go from like reading music to to playing by ear. I had to kind of ease my way into it. I feel,
Mhm.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I know like when I ask some like jazz musicians at my school, it's like the only thing to tell me is like, oh, go listen to some people and then start transcribing
Yeah,
stuff. And I'm like, that's like pretty intimidating, I guess, like as a classical
it
pianist
is.
who's
Yeah,
never done something like that. You know?
yeah, exactly. Like it's good to do that. I think it's good to keep getting better at that and try to train your ear with that.
Mhm.
But I agree with you. It's hard for someone who's never done that before just to start doing it, and yeah, yeah, that just do it kind of mentality. It's it works for some people though. Some people can do that. Some people can just they naturally have it.
Mhm.
But I was not one of those people. So
Right.
I had to read music, and you know what also really helps? It helps to have a teacher who can guide you.
Mhm.
If I didn't have a teacher, I don't think I'd be doing this now. If I didn't have a good teacher to like show me the ways and stuff like that,
Mhm.
um, Yeah, and another thing is that I started improvising by just learning licks, if that makes sense. Like licks are like small musical ideas. So like on a blues or something. So there's like the blues scale.
Right.
You know, a cool lick that I learned was this one. And just taking those licks and try to incorporate them into my improvisation. Because a lot of the things that I play, they're not just things that I come up with on the spot. They're things that I steal from other people. He taught the lick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That totally
um,
makes sense because
if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. You know, and another one I like to do is this one. So like on a minor chord, I'm doing that in different keys. You know. And then from there you can like deviate from that. You can add notes. You can kind of you can shorten it. You know, or change the rhythm. There's so many things you can do with just one lick. You know, you can you know invert it. Elongate it, make it shorter, stuff like that. I think it really helps. Steal like an artist. Yeah, has anyone read that book? I haven't read that book. Sunny says just mentioned in your chat, steal
yeah,
like an artist.
and then so that's
But
a book
that's
like
exactly
about like how to or like what people or like how people kind of like steal it and make it their own
yeah
kind of.
yeah how people steal steal in the good way, not just
Yeah.
ripping people off, but like stealing little ideas from other people.
Hmm.
And I think that's a great way to learn. And that's how the great jazz musicians learn. They listened to each other and they just took what they like and they incorporated it into their language.
Hmm. So for people like me who are like looking to like get into jazz, like
Yeah,
there's so many people to listen to, right? Uh, like uh, like I can choose someone like Oscar Peterson who's like just a technical monster like on the
yeah.
keyboard, and that like probably won't be like super helpful for me. Like even though he's like obviously one of the like greatest jazz pianists, like do you have like a
Mm-hmm.
recommendation of like kind of how to like warm up into jazz or like some people to listen to?
Yeah. Some good ones are Herbie Hancock. He's really awesome. Herbie Hancock. Um, I personally really like this guy named Gene Harris.
Gene Harris, okay.
He's kind of like Oscar Peterson, but he's more on the bluesy side. Chick Corea is a good one. Cute Bird Raptor just mentioned Chick Corea. Um, Bill Evans. Bill Evans has some really nice songs that he composed and um, yeah, Spain. Seems like the chat knows about jazz too.
Yeah, it seems like they know way more than me about jazz.
But yeah, those are guys that I started off with. Um, I'm trying to think. There's so many. Thelonious Monk.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah, Faceboy Kid just mentioned Miles Davis, who isn't a pianist, but he's good to listen to. I think it's good to listen to not just pianists, but like bands,
Hmm.
really good bands,
And then try
like
like absorb
Miles
their
Davis.
sound, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Miles Davis Quintet, Thelonious Monk Quartet. I really like Thelonious Monk. I didn't like him when I first heard him because he was a little too out there for me,
Hmm.
but he really grew on me. Weather Report. Oh, that's a cool one.
All right.
But yeah, those are good guys to start off with, I think.
Yeah. So I know the other thing that I wanted to talk to you today about was in your Discord you talked about this 251 kind of idea, like
Yeah,
how we can use it to like help our jazz or help us learn.
yeah. So that one right there I sent you is the it's one set of voicings that you could use.
Yep.
There's a lot of other ones too, but
Hmm.
that's like a good one to start off with.
Sure.
And I didn't write all 12 keys because um one, I'm kind of lazy to do that, and two, it's good to just it's good to figure it out on your own because it's all pattern in the end. So So that's the first one,
Right, so
and
that's
then the
right here.
second one, and you just keep on going down. And this is important because the 2 is important, but the 5-1 is the more important part.
Hmm.
Like in classical music, there's 5-1 everywhere, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Um, it's just like the dominant chord change. So in jazz, we put the 2 there, 2 in front too. So um, that's very common to put the 2. So practicing it as a set. And this isn't the only chord change in jazz, but then it's very this cyclic movement, as we call it, like going around in the cycle, is very good for your ear. I think just to get it into your ear.
Right. Yeah. So I kind of know like the different voicings that you put like on
Yeah,
there. Like I know like what like a ninth is or like a 13th is and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Do you think you can go like a little bit more like in depth about like the voicing or like how
yeah,
people choose voicings and stuff like that?
yeah. So this one right here in particular, you have the root on the bottom, of course,
Mhm.
and then you have third, fifth, seventh, and ninth on top, and then when you go to the 5, it switches. So the 7 is on the bottom, then the third is on in the middle, and then the 13 is on the top.
Mhm.
So the extension is 9 on the top, 13 on the top, back to 9 on the top, 9 on the top, 13 on the top, 9 on the top. If that makes sense. So the most important notes, of course, are the root, 7th, and 3rd. And then the 9 and the 13 on the top, they're just color notes,
Mhm.
basically. So even without this 9 on the top, you can still tell that it's a 2-5-1 just because of the other voices. They kind of define the 2-5-1. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Mhm.
So the third kind of tells you whether it's major or minor, and the 7th if it's dominant or not.
Okay. Mhm. And then
So
so like you said like the ninth and the 13th like I think Q-Bird Raptor said in chat it's just kind of like the butter that adds to it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. The color notes, and you can do the opposite too. You can actually do. I didn't write it down, but then you can go. Set you can switch it, so you can go 7 on the bottom, um, third on the top, and then 13 on the high voice.
Mhm.
It sounds a little more out there,
Yeah.
but it's an option. I use them sometimes. It sounds good to me, actually.
Yeah.
So you can switch around that too.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So, like, I guess my next question would be like, so for I know because I like teach like classical students, right? And so like when I
Mhm.
teach them like scales and all that stuff, like sometimes the
Yeah,
students are like, oh, why am I learning this? Or like, what is this gonna like help me with, right? And so then I showed them
yeah,
like
yeah,
Mozart pieces, or I showed them like other sonatas and stuff, and I'm like, oh, look, like scales are written all over, so like that's kind of where it
exactly. Yeah,
applies. So
yeah.
like is it similar where like how would this 2-5-1 kind of situation like help in like when I'm playing a piece or other or like something like that? Like is there like an
Well,
direct
if you look at a
application?
song like, oh, sorry, I cut you off there. My bad.
No, you're good.
If you look at a piece like Autumn Leaves,
Hmm.
that song is all just 2-5-1s. Like the whole piece is 2-5. Oh, maybe there's one part that's not 2-5-1, but there's like, so it goes 2-5-1-4, and then it goes 2-5-1 in the minor key. 2-5, and then it repeats that. So if you those 2-5-1s are good on their own, like that that exercise is good on their own, but then you should also apply it to a song. So when you look at Autumn Leaves or like any other jazz chord chart, try and make your own voicings for it. So for Autumn Leaves, I would use the ones that I wrote down in the PDF there. Another cool thing to do is also do it on your left hand too. So you can just go. So
Mm-hmm.
there's like three things going on. There's the melody, there is the chords, and then there's the bass, right?
Yeah.
So since we only have two hands, how I practiced it was I did bass on the left hand and melody and chords on the right. And then I also did melody on the right hand and bass on the left. Playing around with some rhythms too.
Right.
And then chords on the left hand and then melody on the right hand. Ah. So then if you get good at all of those, then you can start kind of um, mixing the three together. So it's like juggling. It's like juggling three balls, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys.
So that's how I practiced it.
Mm-hmm.
Solo piano, at least.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's a different key. That one's in what, E minor. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's another good exercise. Doing it in different keys too,
Mm-hmm.
just so you can get used to all the 2-5-1s.
Yeah, for sure. So do you think like we can maybe try I don't know, like just do some like, or like I'll try some playing and then we like kind of walk me through like how this lead sheet would work, like of the Autumn Leaves in
Yeah,
this
sure,
E
for
minor.
sure. I
So
think the first thing to do is try just getting the harmony down. So with your left hand, play the bass notes,
mhm.
and then the right hand play the chords.
Cool. Yeah, so maybe we
And
can,
you can
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, sorry, so with the voicings that I gave you on the PDF, you can copy those.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so, do you mind doing like, or if we do some of this like on stream just a little bit?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay, cool. So I don't think I can have the sheet music on the screen, but so see, this is the embarrassing part for me now because I don't know what I'm doing. Right. So can you
Yeah,
hear
you
my
can just
keyboard?
forget about the melody for now and just try to get the chords, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear my keyboard by the way? Because I know stream can
Yeah,
hear
I
it.
can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear it.
Cool. So I believe the first chord that we have here is like A. Is it flat seven?
A minor 7, right?
A minor seven. Right.
I think.
Mm-hmm. So we have the bass on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the fifth, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then
You don't have to. Yeah, the fifth you don't have to do it in the bass, but it's optional.
okay, and then but the seventh should go in the bass, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. And
Or
then
you can just do. You can. I think the easier way would be just going bass note on the bottom, so like A
okay,
on the bottom, and then the voicing on the top. Because I don't think you need to double too many voicings.
okay, sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So
sorry,
like
because I don't have your 251 sheet up
it's
right
all
now.
good. I'll tell you the voicing. So it'd
Sure.
be like A on the bottom, and then C E G B.
Okay, cool. and then so
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
so that would be the 2, right?
Yeah, that's 2.
Cool. And then we move to 5, which is the D7, right?
Yeah, so you can just move your middle finger to the F sharp.
Yep. And then I would move my bass up to D.
Yep. Yeah, there we go. Nice. That sounds good.
And then the last one is obviously our 1, right? So then we have
Yep.
G.
Yep.
I'm missing a note, right? So we have G on the bottom.
G, and then I go B, D, F sharp, A.
B, D, F sharp, A.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if we run that back, so we have this one. We move our middle finger.
Yep. Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Like there, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
All right. And then
C major 7.
Yeah. So from here, like, does it matter like where I move or like how I move my right hand? Right? Because there's like
you definitely want to try and keep it like close, I think. But I mean, it depends. That's like an artistic choice, I think. But for this exercise, why don't we try to voice lead it so it's like everything's close together?
Sure.
So right now you're at G major, right? So from there, C major 7.
So I can just move everything down, right?
Yeah.
To the C major triad with the B on the bottom.
Yeah, you can do that, but you don't need I don't think you need the C.
C. Okay.
Because the C is going to be being played on the bass.
In the bass, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So if we go back, we have here, and then, right, and then we go to C major 7.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
That's exactly what I would use.
And then now we move to the F sharp flat, or F sharp minor 7, right?
Yeah. So F sharp minor 7 flat 5. I would use just F sharp on the bottom and then A minor triad on the top.
Okay. So that one, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and then so this is where our next 2-5-1 comes in, right?
Yeah, this is the minor 2-5.
Minor
so
2-5.
Minor 2-5 is a little different. There's the flat 5, right? So the flat 5 becomes a little more important than the 3rd and 7th, in my opinion. And then for the 5 here, so we use altered chords for minor 2-5s, just because the accidentals they resolve to the minor chord a little better than no accidentals. So I'm using a E flat, like a E flat G A D.
E flat G A D.
Yeah, flat 9, flat 13, exactly.
And then so we would have the B on the bottom, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then E minor.
What's your top note?
F sharp. So I'm going like G major 7 over E.
Okay, yeah, I see. Oof. Yeah,
So
this one was the hard one to get.
Yeah, this is the hard one for sure. Do you want to try it again?
Yeah. So let's go, I guess, from the C major, right? So we had this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then the F sharp. Wait, don't tell me. Oh, we had the A minor, right?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Am I missing something on the top, or is E supposed to be on the top?
No, that's good. E's good.
Cool. And then we go to the B, which was the this is the thing, is it's like so hard for me to like remember the chords in my like mind, I guess, because like I'm just so used to reading it or like all that stuff.
I guess you just gotta remember the shape.
Oh, and then this one we had the
that's
that
it.
one, right? And then it goes down to that
with the F sharp on top.
With F sharp on top. There it is.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Oh my god,
want to try that again?
Yeah. So we'll go C major, and then we had the F sharp with A minor.
Yeah.
And then we had B, this one, and then E over G major.
Yeah, that's it right there.
All right, cool.